Have you ever been painting with watercolor and you want to get a really light bleed of a second color along the edges? It's going really well, you're keeping a steady hand, and it's bleeding in just a little bit, just how you want, and then suddenly you have a big blop of that, and there's way more than you wanted there to be. Why does that happen? The reason that happens is when you're working in a wet environment, as you're dropping in that initial color, wherever you pick up your brush, a bunch of water and color is going to come out and leave a big dot, much bigger than the rest of the line, which may not be what you were going for. Sometimes the effect is really subtle, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's always good to know why it happens. But how do you actually combat this when it happens in a way that you don't want it to happen? The first thing you can do is to plan the path of your brush. So wherever you're going to end that stroke, make sure that's somewhere where you want a bunch of that color to be deposited. Your second option is to wash your brush and then tap it so it's damp, and then just kind of lightly feather those two things together. Or you can even take the initial color that you were using, that you're dropping the color into, refill your brush with that, and then deposit it and kind of try to push that other part back into the side. Also remember, you can't always control everything with watercolor, and sometimes you're just going to get a little extra something, but I always think it's good to know why things happen so that you can plan for them or try to avoid them if you don't want them to happen. As a side note, this is a painting from my book, Learn to Watercolor by Lacey Walker. That's me. And we use charging, which is what this technique is called, to create that beautiful red color on the inside of a peach.